Alright, here's my review for The Walking Dead issue number 140. I know it's late. We've had a lot of stuff with school, so now that I'm done with school, I have time to review. Just in time for the one tomorrow. I'm going to review issue 141 tomorrow as it comes out, but right now, let's just do 141. I know it's late, but hey, better than not doing it at all. Okay, so we pick up right at the end of last issue where we finally met Michonne since the end of All Out War. When Rick's talking to her, he's like, I want you to be happy. You have to learn to forgive yourself. Like, even though you left your family before the apocalypse, you have to forgive yourself for that. You can't just hold that against you and never be happy again. And Michonne's like, I can't accept that. And Rick just says, I don't want you to be sad for the rest of your life. And then Rick says, Michonne asks, are you heading back out tonight? And then Rick's like, yeah, the Dwight's people are probably at Alexandria already waiting. So, probably, like, as we saw in the preview for 141, as we've seen, like, you see the little arrow hitting, like, a piece of wood. So that's probably Dwight's arrow, or somebody in his group. I mean, it's gotta be Dwight, I'm pretty sure. Like, if it's not, I just don't really understand how it couldn't be, like, whatever. So then, Rick's like, why don't you come back to Alexandria for the fair? And Michonne's like, and then Rick says, Carl would really like to see you. And then she says, I'd like to see him too. Okay, then we'll see. And Rick still doesn't know that Carl has run off to Lydia. And he whispers. So then we cut back to the hilltop with this motherfucking asshole, Gregory. This little victim, this little coward that he always is. It just fucks. He's like, I was framed. I never revealed myself. I've been advising Maggie the whole time. She's been she didn't believe me that she's trying to discredit me. She's trying to discredit me. So I couldn't hurt a fly, blah 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 blah. And then, like, I love how this guy says, so this one guy that's interviewing him, I think he's the doctor, I can't remember his name. So you're saying that Maggie planted evidence in the trailer and then poisoned herself. And then Gregory responds, I know it sounds crazy, but that's the only scenario that makes sense. And then the doctor says, but Gregory, it doesn't. And it's true, because this is all bullshit. Gregory's making up a bullshit story to an excuse for for him trying to take back the leadership of Hilltop, and before that, he was the shittiest leader ever. He was terrible. He got so many people killed. He didn't warn Rick about how many people Negan had. He lied. He never told him about this threat. If it wasn't for Gregory, maybe Glenn would still be alive. That might be a stretch, but Gregory is such a bad leader. Okay. So then, Maggie says, like, tell me again what Jesus saw. You standing over me saying that all is right in the world. How does that make sense? And then Gregory's like, I never said that. Jesus is just on your side. And then Maggie says, Christ, you're pathetic. And Gregory, he pulls another bitch move and just says, this is my life here. You're having fun with this, aren't you? You're out there making fun with my life hanging from the balance. You're a monster. And then Maggie comes up with the best comeback line ever. I just love this line. You tried to kill me. You poisoned me. You stood over me and celebrated. You wanted to take control of this place, so you tried to kill me. This is no fucking joke. I love that line. Like, it's alright in that panel, but, like, Gregory's just says all this, like, bullshit, and Maggie just lays it out on him like that. Like, I know what you're full of shit, and I am not gonna take it from you. I'm going to show the authority that I have. I'm not gonna, like, beat around the bush and just forget like this ever happened. You need to be punished for what you did. You tried to kill her. So, yeah, you're gonna be punished, Gregory. What did you expect? So, like, Gregory's like, you're gonna kill me, aren't you? Like, Maggie's like, she gives a blank expression, but I kind of feel like, yeah, she is. So then Maggie and Jesus both debate on what they should do with Gregory. Jesus is like, we need to get rid of him. We need to kill him because he's just going to keep playing victim and manipulating people to get him on his side. And that's his explanation. It's not the same thing with Negan because no one in the Alexandria Safe Zone supports Negan at all. Nobody does. So with him alive, he doesn't have any allies. He doesn't have anyone that's going to back him up. The hilltop with Gregory, there are a few people that still might side with him because he was the leader before Maggie became leader in like when she got there. So then we have that. We have the discussion of like Dante is still looking for Carl. Excuse me. Dante's still looking for Carl and reporting back to Maggie like we haven't found him and we're still looking. But and then Jesus points out Rick isn't going to take this well. Rick is the least of my problems now, says Maggie, and then she says Carl is on his own. And then we cut back to 2 pages with Carl and Lydia. And I love these pages because it's just like, it just shows like, okay, Carl's walking with them and Lydia's like, you shouldn't have come back after me. And Carl says, I'm starting to see that. And so we have this little dialogue between characters, but nothing really too much interest. But then we see the Whisperer's camp. It's a 2-page spread, and it's awesome. I absolutely love it. We see it right here. This is their camp. You have, right over here, you have some skins, some zombie skins that they're carving up. Or not really carving up, but just, you know, getting set up because that's what they need in order to camouflage themselves. That's what they are, the Whisperers. Then we have, like, some, like, it looks like cows being, like, being cooked for meat. Then we have some like horses and like little like wagons or something over here. But it looks like the Whisperers are a very mobile group from what I can see here. It doesn't look like they stay around very long. They like to move around with the dead, as they've said. But this is a very cool setup. I like that Carl is definitely like in the new beginning story arc, he's probably the coolest character. Right now, Carl is awesome. I just love his story arc. It's amazing. But yeah, the Whisperers, they're moving on. We'll see what happens with Carl in the next issue, maybe. I think, but don't quote me on that. So then we cut back to the hilltop with Maggie talking to Claudette, the mother of one of the boys that Carl beat up with a shovel back in issue 134. And then she's like, I was sad. Like, I think she's genuine about her apology. Like, she was involved in the attempt on Maggie's life, but she didn't try to, like, she was involved, but she was a little resistant. Like, after Gregory killed her, after, like, Gregory said we could always kill her in issue 134 or 135, all of the group was shocked, like, whoa, 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 calm down. Like, a little bit. So I can kind of feel like, yeah, that's potentially truthful. Excuse me again. So Claudette is just sad. She's just crying. She's like, I was full of rage. Like, I'm sorry. I didn't want to do this. And then I think she's genuine. Just upset that she tried to help with the assassination. So then we had this whole discussion with Jesus, or like Jesus and Maggie talk a little more, and then you have like little baby Herschel. Where is he? Right there. Glenn and Maggie's child. So, like the way that Maggie says it is like, I'm pretty sure I've come to a decision. That's the problem. And Jesus like, and there's no getting around it. Gregory has to die. Yes, 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 because, oh my god, if Gregory dies, yes, 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 because Gregory's a bitch. And he's just like he's a coward, he's a prick, he's just manipulating people, playing coward, like, kind of, I don't know. he's not the equivalent of Joffrey from Game of Thrones, but he is like a guy that just talks shit just to talk shit and will cause problems just to cause problems because he feels like he's more important than anyone else. A lot of times, he'll just do things to fit his own agenda that doesn't benefit the entire group, which is what you should be doing in the apocalypse at this point. You want to do stuff that's going to benefit the whole group so we can all benefit and survive. But Gregory's just selfish. So if Gregory does die, it's going to be good for the group because one less person that's just a problem to the community. So then we cut back, and this is really, really cool. We have, looks like you have these two guards right there just pointing the gun at somebody, and we see like someone's getting washed out, and I was pretty sure I knew who this was. Olivia is cutting Negan's hair and like giving him a wash, or Negan's washing himself probably, and but they all have guns. Like they're like paranoid. They're like, we have to keep this guy on arms even while he's naked and getting like a shower or whatnot. So yeah, we have everyone trained, guns trained on him, and then we see Negan with his like cut hair back to how he normally was when we first saw him. Like recently he had that really long hair and really long beard, but now he's cut down, looks back to normal, like the sociopath that he is. But Charlie Adler did a good job at drawing him like that. Then we have like, so they are like, okay, get him back in his cage, or get this animal back in his cage, and Olivia like has the puts the lock in and like turns the key and is like, it's not. Oh, there it goes, and click. Come again soon, says Negan. And then shit hits the fan. Not to the fullest extent, but it could be bad. It could be very bad, very quick. So Negan leans against the cell door, and then it pops open, and he's like, "Hold the fucking phone!" And then that's the end of the issue. And then for the cover of issue 141, it's just Negan standing in the open jail cell. Oh boy. I know that like the quick judgment thing with that is like everyone's like, oh my god, Negan's gonna make a run for it and like shoot up everybody and run away, like it's crazy. But let's think about this quick. Negan doesn't even have a pair of shoes. All right, he might be able to like, I don't know if there's any like shanks or anything that he can make like a little shiv out of in the prison or like the little jail cell that he's in. But he doesn't really have any weapons, and he's just one guy. He's just one guy who he can die like anyone else. He probably is smart enough to know, okay, I can't just run out there guns blazing like with nothing, because if I do, I'm probably gonna die. So he's probably gonna be like, okay, I've got to come up with a plan before I decide to escape. That's probably what he's going to do. He's probably just going to stay in his jail cell. He's going to probably close it back up, and when the time is right, like, he will make a run for it and strike. When the time is right, he'll probably maybe, like, I don't know, like, go outside in that little area and probably gather some small things, like make shivs and stuff. And then maybe when one person is down there, he will make a jump on them and then take their weapons and run out and probably sneak his way out. Probably the best time to do this would be either A, during the fair, or B, during the night. That's what I think is the best for him to do. But, yeah, like, in the preview for issue 141, we have 3 little images. We have one of Rick, where his face is just like, and that probably is when he realizes that either A, Negan escaped, or like A, Negan escaped, or B, Carl is missing. Those are the 2 things that it could be. And the other one is like Rick just coming back to the safe zone and he sees Andrew and he just asks, "What did I miss?" And the third one is a very interesting one. It's just Rick coming back on the wagon and he sees an arrow hit a piece of wood, which I mentioned before, but that's probably Dwight. So I would say that this issue was a 8 out of 10. It was a good setup. I love these. The Walking Dead is my favorite comic book series of all time. But Batman's my favorite comic book character of all time. But The Walking Dead is the best comic book series of all time. One thing I should mention though is the cover doesn't really matter. Like, it doesn't reflect what happens in this issue. Like, this reflects. Let me see if I can find it. Um. Uh, I don't really know. I don't need to figure. Oh no, there they are. Yeah, this one only reflects as to what happens in like issue 138 when Sophia finds out that Carl is missing. Like, you see her walking, and then she knocks on Carl's door, and she's like, "Shocked face, where's Carl?" And that's what this is really supposed to be. It's supposed to be like issue 138, but I don't know. Maybe they drew this and had a different idea or something. But I don't know. You'll get covers sometimes that aren't really related to the actual comic or the story that happened. But I'm gonna give this one an 8 out of 10. It was a good story. I always loved Walking Dead. It's my favorite comic series of all time. I love picking it up on day one, and I promise that tomorrow I will review it on time. All right. Yep. Walking Dead, issue 141. I say it's an 8 out of 10. Always great series. Love love the show, and love the comic. All right, that's it. Please comment down below about your thoughts on issue 140. I think there's a lot of great stuff coming up. We're almost done with Compendium 3. It'll be done soon. And yeah, I'll be sure to review issue 141 tomorrow. Alright, until then, see ya.